Well, for months, we've been bringing you stories of local cold cases in hopes that maybe shining the spotlight back on the horrible crimes will encourage someone to come forward. Tonight, we examine a local murder case cracked after 4 decades. Here's Katie Jeffries with why families should never give up.
For families waiting for answers about the murder or disappearance of a loved one, waiting can be one of the hardest parts. Some have waited several years, others several decades. But earlier this year, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office made an arrest in a case that was nearly 43 years old. Bobby Farah remembers spending days with his dad at the family store, standing on a milk crate and counting coins, just excited to be hanging out with his dad. He also remembers it was a Wednesday, the day he found out.
It was just, as a 6-year-old boy, as I got older, I would always see a police officer and ask him, hey, you know, my dad was killed. Can you help me find out who killed my dad?
His father, Freddie Farah, was working at his Grand Park food store in 1974 when a witness recalls a young man walked in, demanded money, then shot Freddie and ran off. Freddie's family was devastated. Bobby says his parents loved each other deeply, and his mother had to become the rock of the family for Bobby and his 3 sisters. As the years stretched into decades, Bobby kept pursuing answers in his father's case.
Someone was out there that was responsible, and I wanted to find out who that person could be.
More than 40 years later, on another Wednesday, Bobby got a call from a sergeant at JSO to bring in his family and come by the station.
They sat us down and they told my mom, they spoke pretty much directly to her,
telling them that officers had taken 60-year-old Johnny Miller into custody in New Orleans for the murder of his father.
I don't exactly remember what I said or what I did when I walked out of the room, but I kind of remember putting my hand down on the table saying, I knew it. You know, I knew somebody was out there that was responsible, just a matter of finding them.
So Miller approached the counter with some items, pulled out a gun and demanded money from Freddie Farah.
Sheriff Mike Williams described the arrest as good old-fashioned police work mixed with new DNA and fingerprint technology. And as technology advances, social media is also changing the game, helping connect witnesses to law enforcement. That's the goal of Project Cold Case, a local organization creating a searchable database of cold cases and spotlighting cases on social media in hopes that witnesses will come forward, a group that has spotlighted the Farah case in the past. Project Cold Case founder Ryan Backman also lost his father in a shooting, and the case remains unsolved. But he says seeing an arrest in the Farah case after decades,
that should give everybody that has one of these cases hope, and it should make them realize that law enforcement isn't giving up. You shouldn't give up. If you have a case out there that has physical evidence, you should probably, give law enforcement a call and just ask them when the last time that evidence was tested.
And Bobby Farah says he knows it is not easy. It's hard to wait for the answers, but never give up.
Because you never know when somebody could come forward and give just that little piece of information that leads to a bigger piece of information.
Johnny Miller has since been extradited from New Orleans back to Jacksonville, but according to court records, he has not yet entered a plea, but he will be back in court on October 30th. Throughout the month of November, I'll be bringing you stories of local unsolved cases in the hopes that maybe there'll be information out there that will bring families the answers that they're waiting for.